Hello everyone and welcome to my first video on this channel. That's actually not a No Limbs creation. And today we're going to be going over my Six Flags 2020 predictions. I did work on this video with Ryan from Canada Coaster Fan, so if you aren't already subscribed to him, please check him out. Me, him, and New England Coaster Fan did a lot of work together to basically guess what each park is going to get. And today I'm going to go over some of the options of what I think each park is going to get. First off is Six Flags Over Texas. And so I think there's a big rumor going around right now that they're supposed to get the mock Power Splash that was supposed to go to Six Flags Dubai. In case you didn't know, Six Flags Dubai will not be opening. Six Flags actually canceled that park, but the mock Power Splash is on site. And so it's very likely that Six Flags will probably send this to one of their other parks. Six Flags Over Texas is clearing land right now. I believe they closed their Aquaman ride, and they're doing some clearing over in that area, some land prep, stuff like that. And I think the big rumor is that they're going to get that mock Power Splash. The size of the plot looks like it'll be a good size for that, and I think this would be a good fit for the park. And then the other option I have is Hurricane Harbor expansion, which I don't think is nearly as likely as the Power Splash, but I think it would still be a good fit for the park. Confirmed for Magic Mountain, at CoasterCon, they actually confirmed that they were going to be retracking their Intamin Zaxpin Green Lantern First Flight, and it is going to be relocated to another park in the chain. And they didn't say which park will be getting this. I'm sure that'll come in the announcements video. But they did confirm that it will be gone for next season. And so my prediction for them, my main prediction is an ABC Rides Tourbillon. They've been getting a lot of thrilling flats, and I think people are predicting that they will get a Skyscreamer this year. But because of California law, they actually can't do that because of the earthquakes, and that's the same thing that happened with Windseeker. When that whole incident happened, they had to shut that down, and they ended up shipping it over to Worlds of Fun. And so I don't think this park will ever get at least a tall Skyscreamer. Maybe like a shorter model would be possible. Not sure on that exactly, but I think they will get a thrilling flat. Six Flags seems to put a lot of money into this park. They get a lot of coasters. Obviously, West Coast Racers, huge project, still not open. And then the other option I have is a 40 free spin. I don't think this is going to happen, but it is possible, I guess, knowing Six Flags, that if another one of their parks were to get we're supposed to get a 40 free spin, and they just sent him Green Lantern instead and gave Magic Mountain that free spin to fill that gap in their lineup that they're losing, I wouldn't be too surprised. So moving on to Six Flags Great America, my big prediction for them is they're going to get a water park expansion. I think that's pretty likely. Last year, that was a big rumor going around that they were going to get a water park expansion before the SNS launch rumors started to pick up. And then obviously we got Max Force. But I still think it's been a while since the water park has gotten an expansion, and there's some room for improvement there for sure, especially like with a water coaster. That would be a good addition, something like Thunder Rapids at Fiesta Texas. And then the other one I have for them is a second gen Enterprise. A lot of people are also predicting a thrilling flat for Great America, and it would make sense. I just don't know where it would go. There's not a whole ton of room, and these Enterprises are pretty small. We actually had a first gen Enterprise that we got rid of, and so I guess it would make sense to kind of get a similar ride, since we don't have that at the park anymore. And it's like, it's a good ride for everyone. Families can enjoy it. It's a good thrill ride. It would fit the park's flat ride lineup quite nicely, actually. Also likely to happen at Great America, the park may announce the permanent or temporary closure of American Eagle for the 2020 season in order to RMC or fully retract the ride. Yeah, that's supposed to be retrack. For its 40th anniversary in 2021. And this has been a rumor that's picking up a lot of steam. I'm not sure 100% that this is going to happen, but I do think it's quite likely, especially with the problems the ride has been having lately. They can't actually duel both trains because there are support issues in the helix. And supposedly, the trains are going to have to get replaced after this year. These are going to be the last years that these trains can be used on Eagle. Not sure how true that is, but that's just something that's been going around as well. And so I think it wouldn't be too big of a shock if we got some announcement coming up here or towards the end of the season that American Eagle will not reopen next year. Six Flags Great Adventure. Now, before I actually give my prediction on this one, I'm going to read this down at the bottom. Park President John Winkler mentioned that the 2020 attraction will be made of steel and tall, and that it has been in the works for a while, and he confirmed this at Riding of the Bull, which is their event for El Toro ERT at Great Adventure. And so, I'm going to go with the T-Rex here. Honestly, I think any major steel coaster would be likely. It's been a while since Great Adventure has gotten something like that. I do think they're getting a coaster for sure. The thing that makes me say T-Rex is the fact that their park president said it's been in the works for a while, and we know these T-Rexes, they've been like available for parks to purchase for a good amount of time now, and we haven't really seen one start construction yet, and so it wouldn't surprise me that Six Flags has been working heavily with RMC and they decided to buy the first one, especially for a park that doesn't have an RMC yet. They could use something like this to improve their lineup. And then the other one I have is an S&S Air Launch coaster. Again, not sure how likely this is. It's just that Six Flags did add Max Force last year, and it seems that whenever they add a new ride, they like to add the same ride over and over, maybe with a couple variations. So I guess we'll see in August what happens with that. Six Flags Fiesta Texas, I'm predicting a family ride package. Something like Carnival en Foyer, I think is what they called it, for La Ronde. Just a few smaller family, mildly thrilling flats. Something that everyone can enjoy. I think that's a good fit. They've been getting a lot of thrill rides. They got Wonder Woman a couple years ago. Actually, last year. And then they got Zamperla Giant Discovery this year, Joker, which still hasn't opened. But I definitely think that they're going to take a break from the thrill rides for a year. And then the other option I have is a water park expansion. Doesn't seem too likely to me, especially since they just got Thunder Rapids. But that's also been a rumor going around. Not sure how likely it is. I just wanted to put that on here as another option because I don't think they're getting anything thrilling this year. Six Flags Darien Lake. So for both this and Frontier City, I based this off of what they added last year since they were both new parks to the chain. Frontier City got Bugs Bunny Boomtown, a kids area expansion, and Darien Lake got a Starflyer. So as you're going to see in a bit here, I switched the predictions. I think this year Darien Lake will get a kiddie expansion. It just makes sense for the park to get that retheme, get some DC theming going on. Maybe rename Superman Ride of Steel back to Superman Ride of Steel, since they did have to change that name when they left Six Flags. And so the other option I have is a 40 free spin. I don't think they've been in the chain long enough for the chain to actually start investing heavily into them with like a new coaster or anything, but I do think it's possible because Six Flags does like to add these free spins at pretty much every single one of their parks. And then moving on to Frontier City, like I said earlier, I think they're probably going to get a Starflyer. It would make sense. They haven't gotten anything super thrilling in a while, it seems, which is why the other option is a second-gen Enterprise. Obviously, they have that one at, I believe that's Six Flags Over Texas. And then they added the other one last year, Supergirl, at Six Flags St. Louis. And I do think these are going to start to become more popular in the Six Flags chain. I know Kentucky Kingdom has one. They're super fun. Probably very cheap flat rides, not super hard to maintain. So I think they're going to get a lot more popular as well. Six Flags Mexico. I'm thinking they're going to get a thrilling flat this year. So two things they don't have, Zamperla Giant Discovery and an ABC Rides Tourbillon. Not sure which one they would add. I think the Giant Discovery is more likely since they do have a Huss top spin. But that being said, they also have something kind of similar to the Giant Discoveries. I forgot what the actual model and manufacturer are, but it's one of those pendulum rides that spins, but you're facing inwards. But because of the size of these Giant Discoveries, or the Giga Discoveries as they're being called, like Crazanity, Joker, Wonder Woman, I do think the park could get something like that. They don't have any extremely large, thrilling flats, and so I think that'd be a good fit for them this year. Six Flags Lorand. I'm gonna go off on a limb and say that they're gonna get Green Lantern. We know that it's getting relocated to another Six Flags park. It could be going to one of the parks overseas. It was originally supposed to go to Dubai, I believe. But obviously that's not happening. So I think it's possible we see Laron get thrown, whatever Six Flags has left over, something out of the scrap barrel, which, I mean, that's what this ride is. And it's been a while since they've gotten a coaster. It would make sense to try and get a new, unique ride. They can market it as, the first 4D coaster, the only 4D coaster in Canada. Of course, Six Flags like their gimmicky marketing. But I think that would be probably the most likely option. Another thing I could see is a kids area expansion. Jeez. They just got Titan not too long ago, which is a giant discovery. Six Flags really doesn't heavily invest in this park. So if they do see a new flat, I think it's going to be something small, more kiddie-ish. Maybe like a kiddie area retheme, something like that. Discovery Kingdom. I'm going to say they're probably getting a drop tower. This is one of the only Six Flags parks that does not have one of these. And I just think that because there's such a big appeal for drop towers, and especially if they were going to work with SNS again, there's so much they can do. They can do the shot towers, the actual drop towers, the combo towers. They've got a lot of options here. And to see a park without a drop tower, it's kind of like a gap in their flat ride lineup that most parks have. So I think this would be a really good fit for the park. And it's something else I threw on here. Justice League Battle for Metropolis. This is one of the parks that doesn't have one. Six Flags hasn't added a Sally Dark ride in a while, so I don't know how likely it is that they ever work with them again. But I really am not sure what else this park could get. Maybe a family flat, but they've been getting a lot of thrilling expansions recently, with Harley Quinn Crazy Coaster and obviously a 40 free spin this year. So I'm gonna go with the drop tower for Discovery Kingdom. Six Flags New England. I'm gonna go with an ABC Rides Tourbillon on this one. I think they're due for a thrilling flat. It seems like a lot of Six Flags parks are, so not all of these are gonna come true. But I do think Six Flags is going to start to add a lot more of these tourbillons. They've added one in 2018, and I believe they added one this year, I want to say. And so I think that we're going to start to see these pick up. Obviously, the free spins only had one in their first couple of years, and we saw in 2017, Chain added 3 of them. So I do think it's possible that we get some more of these going around. Same with the second-gen Enterprises, as I've been saying. Both of them don't take up a huge footprint. They're both pretty good looking flat rides. Well, second gen Enterprise is. I've been on the one at Kentucky Kingdom. It's fun. And I think it'd be a good fit for New England. They haven't gotten something super thrilling since, Wicked Cyclone in 2015. Oh, and they did get a giant discovery, but I don't see them getting a coaster this year like a lot of people think. Six Flags America. Now, literally a few minutes before I'm uploading this video, there was this permit that one of my friends sent to me. It doesn't have any details on it, but they are getting a new ride. That's 100% confirmed. It's not going to be some stupid lazy river like it was last year. I believe the park filed a permit for the concept. Not sure where that's going to go. This is one of the parks that doesn't have a giant discovery, so I wouldn't be too surprised if that's what they get. That's been a rumor that's going around a lot. And then the other thing, I know we haven't seen Roar close, and it seems like the rides that get RMC'd by Six Flags, they sort of tend to announce that they're going to be closing soon around this time. But I still think it's possible, since they've done a very similar layout with the Roar at Discovery Kingdom. They might not need as much time. They probably already know what they're doing. Obviously, they're different rides, but if they were going to go with a similar layout or just a similar ride in general, it probably wouldn't need as long. So that's why I'm still leaving this up here as a possibility that they could get RMC Roar. Six Flags St. Louis. This is the park I think is pretty much confirmed to get a coaster this year as well. It's been a long time since they've gotten a coaster. They were supposed to get one in 2017, but and they were supposed to get that SNS Free Spin, the Joker. Six Flags Great America kind of stole that away, but I do think it's very likely that they get a coaster this year, and whether that could be the free spin that they were supposed to get from a couple years ago, or maybe one of these new RMC Raptors. It doesn't seem like they're very expensive, and I'm sure Six Flags is willing to clone and build a lot of these. They look like amazing rides. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see one at this park either this year or in the next couple years. Six Flags Great Escape. I'm also going to say a family flat package for this one, because they don't seem to get anything else other than kiddie rides or family rides. This park isn't one that Six Flags is going to invest a lot of money into. It's not a park that generates enough revenue to deserve some brand new mega coaster or some like RMC Raptor like people are saying. It's possible because a lot of the higher ups in the upper management of the Six Flags chain love this park, but I don't think Six Flags is willing to shell out millions of dollars for a ride for this park that isn't generating them enough money to warrant that. It's a small park. The other thing I have is a water park expansion. Keep in mind, Great Escape does have a water park and resort on site, so it's always possible that they could be doing something to expand that this year instead of focusing on the dry park, because it seems like it's more of like a combo resort and theme park style. Six Flags Over Georgia. This is the other park I could see Green Lantern going to. I know a lot of people said like Six Flags America or Six Flags St. Louis. I think it's possible that they get a Green Lantern or maybe a free spin or something of that sort. But what I'm going to go with for them is probably a kids area expansion or some small family flat, something of that sort. I think that's a little bit more likely, since this park did just get Wicked Cyclone last year and Giant Discovery actually this year. So, I mean, they've been adding some pretty major rides to this park, increasing its flat ride lineup. It's got a pretty good coaster lineup as is. The one thing it is missing is that 4D coaster that Six Flags likes to have at its parks, but other than that, yeah, I think it'll be a kids area for this park. And that is actually the end of all of the parks. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like the video, comment down below what predictions you agree with, which ones you don't, and what you think your home park or any park is going to get actually. Stay tuned for more content like this. I'll probably be doing a Cedar Fair one of a similar style. And thanks for watching.